Okay, please everybody take their seats. Hello. Can Pitea, can you tell people to come in? I see Larry Miller right there on the door. All right, welcome. I'm glad to have you here at our new research building at Winthrop. This is a brand new auditorium. I think this is one of the first major events. The ribbon on the building was cut 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, this may result in some glitches. As some of you may remember, the previous courses were at the Garden City Hotel, which is a very nice location. This is also a great place. When it's at its maximum, it's fantastic. I was hoping to have even on this course 4K ultra high def projectors and a fiber optic cable coming from the Endo unit. The 4K projectors didn't come on time, so we have regular high def, which is still, probably the state of the art in most of these courses at this point. The problem is that the fiber optic cable was actually literally installed this week, and last night we found out that it's not working properly. So you guys may have to get our intranet transmission, which actually we have never done. We always were high def. Yeah. Jeff Smulovich, who has been with the course for 7 years, is telling me it's not that bad. I think that's what he's telling me. Or maybe he's saying, look how bad it is. I don't know. He's just pointing there. So I'm very unhappy about this, actually. Well, let's see how it works. If the transmission is not good, there's pixelation or what, feel free to ask Robert for your money back from the registration. I said it. But yeah, I was really hoping for the fiber optic cable. So anyway, let's proceed. We were supposed to have an initial address by John Collins, our CEO, which I'm not sure. I don't see him here in the audience, so I don't know if he has been detained somewhere. We also will have a short word by John Allendorf. He's our Chief of Surgical Oncology and Vice Chairman of Surgery, and Supreme Pancreatic Surgeon. I just want to underscore the reason of this initial address is to underscore two major points: that you need an administration that is very much behind something like this, with all the complex case that we're doing on a live forum, and you also need, there's John Collins. And we also need the support of our surgeons, because the procedures you're going to see are really endoluminal surgical procedures, and they can only be done in a multidisciplinary fashion with the full support of our surgical colleagues. So without further ado, I will introduce our CEO, John Collins, who will say a short word, and immediately thereafter, John Allendorf will follow, our Vice Chairman of Surgery. Thank you.
Thank you, Stavros, and good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mineola. Welcome to Winthrop University Hospital. And I can't believe it's our 7th live endoscopy course, and I'm delighted that we can bring it to you in our brand new Research and Academic Center. On the 3rd and 4th floor, we have the wet labs where the scientists are, and on the 2nd floor, we have the adult and pediatric endocrine practices where we'll be able to bring bench to bedside in reality. So with that, I just wanted to welcome everybody to the program. Sit back. Stavros has put together a fabulous program. So good morning. Thank you very much.
Still skinny enough to squeeze through there. So welcome, everyone. This is a tremendous conference that Stavros puts together every year. Stavros and I have known each other for a long time, maybe 15, 20 years. We grew up at the same institution, and he got wise sooner than I and came out here about, 7 or 8 years ago, something like that, and I followed about 2 years ago. As I think everybody in the room knows, Stavros and the faculty he's put together here for the live course do just some tremendously innovative work. And what it allows us to do on the surgical side is really to push the envelope. Knowing that Stavros and his team are there to back us up allows us to do a lot more in the operating room. So my official role here today is to be backup in case the faculty puts a hole in something they didn't mean to. But the truth of the matter is, Stavros and his team put holes in the bowel all the time, and that's just clip it shut or sew it shut from the inside. And so I really have become an anachronism at this meeting. But I do appreciate the opportunity to say hello to you. I'm sure it's going to be another great course, and have a good time. Take care.
All right, a short review of logistics for the course. I already reviewed the unhappy logistics, so now let me tell you about the rest of the day. Okay, so basically I'd like to thank the centerpieces of the course for the last 7 years is Marilyn Cramps, our academic coordinator for the division. She's been a part of the course from the beginning when it was a tiny little thing in a basement. And Jeff Smulovich has been the major tech wizard, as you can see here, making it all happen. And he did warn me to get microwave transmission as a backup in case the fiber optic cable doesn't work. Everybody else, however, including on our team at Winthrop, told me not to worry, so I decided not to worry and save $8,000. But he was right. I got to admit it, Jeff. So I'd like to thank. It's a massive undertaking, believe it or not. We have 4 rooms running live cases in the endo unit, transmitting to Mumbai this year. Some of the cases transmitting by webcast to the entire world for free, and also transmitting right here. And it takes a lot of effort. So this is, you heard from John Collins. Rita Roberts is our VP of the endoscopy unit. They are essential to make sure that all the logistics and all the proper money are spent, which is substantial. Actually, the cost is maybe approaching $200,000. Robert D'Antuno and Peter Sander, the faculty has heard from them, almost on a weekly basis to keep all the paperwork, the certifications, and all that stuff going. Winthrop IT, Bill was invaluable, but he did tell me not to worry about the cable. And Jay Adam from our team. My advanced fellow Rani has been working nonstop, talking to patients, screening them for the course, telling them about the course, finding which faculty would do what cases. That takes a tremendous amount of effort. The endoscopy staff is fantastic. I mean, you can't, running 3 rooms doing poems requires 9 or 10 people that live and breathe poem or full thickness resection. This takes quite a bit of organization, and Tashina was critical on that. She's our chief interventional nurse. Anesthesia is invaluable. I don't think I've done a case that in the last 2 years that I didn't use general anesthesia. We have 3 rooms with general anesthesia machines. Basically, there are 3 ORs. And Apeller runs the anesthesia department. At any given time, we have probably 4 or 5 full anesthesiologists in our endoscopy unit on a daily basis. And the fellows will you see great presentations and support the faculty in these cases. GI practice, and again, authorizing insurance has become very difficult in the United States, especially for the cases you'll see today. Investigational, unapproved, denials, appeals. This requires a lot of infrastructure to get these cases at least to be done and be reimbursed. And I'd like to thank all of these people that took part. Again, as I told you, the budget is approaching $200,000, and it would have been impossible without the generous support of these sponsors here, and also to a lesser extent our exhibitors exhibiting up there. So please feel free to visit them and introduce yourselves. Thanks to all of you. We have probably 1/3 of the participants have come to many previous Long Island Live, so thank you all for coming back again and again. And it's going to be, as I said, on a live webcast. Last year we had about 200 people signing in from all over the world, from Japan to Sweden to Latin America. So, this is going to be our webcast for those of you that want to text your friends where to see what's happening. They told me that the webcast last year was fantastic. So hopefully it's going to be good this year. Hopefully it's not going to be better than the auditorium feeds. And then So the cases are going to be, again, very advanced, as Haru Inui said, the most advanced in the world. Chris has said that too. So we're going to do 3 poems, then we're going to do 4 ESDs, 1 ESD of a duodenal carcinoid, 2 full-thickness resections, 1 ampulectomy, 1 Zenker's diverticulotomy, maybe some axios lumen to lumen fistulas. That have to be on a pig, have a live pig as a backup. We're looking for a patient, never found one. These are very rare patients. So it's going to be on a live animal. News is a new fundoplication done endoscopically with a new disposable stapler that goes to the mouth. Underwater EMR, the new hot thing by Ken Binmaler, and EGS-guided coil embolization of gastric varices. That's not usually the fare of our course, but it's a cool procedure and it is transluminal. It's essentially IR done through the mouth. And we'll be transmitting this to Mumbai International US course. That will have to be from 9:30 to 10:30 exactly, because it's for a dinner event there. So I implore faculty to stay on their 20-minute limit, and you know all who you are, including myself, I'm the worst. So we can make the transmission at 9:30 exactly. Actually, Ken will give a lecture and do a case of huge varices embolized by coils by US, hopefully within that hour. And breaks. There'll be 2 breaks and a lunch break. Please visit our exhibitors. End of the day is going to be very unceremonious. For those of you that have been here before, I just say hello while I'm trying to finish the 15th case of the day. Last year I invited whoever was left, thinking that there'll be 3 people left to the endo unit to watch the last cases, and 30 people showed up. So don't do that this year. I never heard the end of that from our nurse manager. So fill your online surveys for CME. And all of this today, lectures and live cases, will be archived on that website. winthropendoscopy.org has become very popular because also the previous 2 courses, 2013 and 2014, are also archived. They're completely with the entire lectures and very amazing cases. So now I'm going to introduce Chris Gostout for our Peter Stevens Memorial Lecture. Peter Stevens was my mentor at Columbia before I came to Winthrop in 2007. He was a fantastically skilled endoscopist and also a great clinical teacher. As you can see here, that's me as his advanced fellow, I don't know, in 2000. He died, unfortunately, of pancreatic cancer 3 or 4 years ago at the age of 49. And he's a great loss. There are a lot of courses named in his name now, but I was his partner for 6 years, up to about a few months before he was diagnosed. He was actually diagnosed a few months after I left Columbia. And I remember him on a daily basis. Every time I do an endoscopy, I remember some little aphorism or pearl or something funny he would say when something happened. It's like he's always there. And Chris Gostout will give the keynote lecture named in his memory. And without further ado, please, Chris. Chris has been the father of the course. This is, I don't know, his 4th year here.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to have him again. He's a fantastic endoscopist that is very good at honing in at whatever little things I'm doing on camera that I want to remain hidden. It just brings them up to the audience. I don't have to explain myself. Okay.